Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach.
This is Nacho Ordinary Fitness Podcast.
I'm Sara, and I'm Nacho Typical Fitness Expert.
And I'm Caleigh, and I'm Nacho Average Fitness Beginner.
We're here to spice up your fitness journey
with some humor, a little knowledge, and a couple glasses of wine.
We're here to prove that getting fit doesn't have to suck.
So whether you're a seasoned athlete or a couch potato,
we've got some tips, tricks, and unconventional advice for you.
Let's redefine fitness together
and learn to balance fitness and fun. So, Caleigh.
Yes, ma'am.
We forgot the push-ups.
You forgot. I stayed quiet.
You remember? Oh, snap. No, I mean, I thought I checked that list for the Presidential Fitness Award and was like, oh, yep, we got them. We're good.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that one. We don't have access to, well, we did the pull-ups.
Yeah.
I just realized that you'd win the 1 mile.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, okay, we're done. And then we completely overlooked push-ups. And so
you did.
Once I remembered, I was like,
yeah.
Okay, we are going to have to do that. Mm-hmm. And you didn't want to.
No. Who wants to do a push-up?
I mean.
So you figured it out and
I said, we're going to do it. So we just went out right before we hit record.
And did push-ups.
We did push-ups.
At the same time.
Same time. Yep. We did. And I'm fully confident that I probably could have had one more in me, except for I just started laughing then I couldn't hold it anymore.
Yeah. I did too. And I got down and you had already started laughing and fell by then. And I was like, all I have to do is one more. All I have to do is get my body weight back up.
And you couldn't move.
And I could, with every ounce of my being, I tried and I could not.
And they were real push-ups.
Yeah.
We were on the floor. Mm-hmm. Everything was straight. Our toes were down, hands, everything. And
so 2 and 2.
Yeah. We both, tied it.
Yeah.
Which I'm feeling a little defeated on that one. The whole thing in general is very defeating, but that one for sure, because I know I could have got one more, but it's fine.
My kids' taekwondo instructor makes them do push-ups when they're not being loud enough or answering up.
Yeah.
And
how many they do?
They have to do 10.
Why are they real push-ups,
I mean,
though? They're kind of halfway down. I mean, I've seen kids do push-ups before, and they're just...
My 6-year-old does.
Real push-ups?
She does some really good push-ups. He actually had her come to the front of the class, of all the classes, all the bigger kids, through middle school, high school, and show them how to do real push-ups.
But let's face it, though. She is definitely a smaller human being to move up and down.
Yeah, she can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely plays into a part of it, is how big your body is and how much you do that movement.
What is that? Wait, push-ups, is that, what are you working, your
chest? Yeah, that's a push.
Okay.
Push exercise. So instead of you doing that measurement loaded on a bench press with a barbell or dumbbells or whatever, that's basically what you're replicating is that movement. So chest, it's a push. I mean, you get some biceps in there too. And the other things, but
yeah, those are hard. We'll have to work on that.
They're not fun. I mean, but they're really good for you. And for me, if you want to take a step back and you are not strong enough yet to do the full push-up, I absolutely despise going down to your knees because it just messes with your angle. You're better off elevating your hands up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And finding a table or even going against a wall and using your hands so that you're elevated, not just dropping down to your knees. So there's my little words of wisdom. If you want to do push-ups and you want to get stronger doing them to start, that's kind of your intro. And then you kind of move your hands slowly down to where you're a little bit more straight.
Okay.
Until you get to the floor. So there we go. But that's actually, I mean, that's a pretty good segue into kind of our topic for today.
Yeah. Because we're talking about burpees and planks.
More specifically, why I hate burpees and planks. Well, I don't recommend them. I don't suggest them.
What an awful name.
I have no idea.
It's a terrible name.
It is a terrible name. And it's not even, I don't even know who decided to spell it that way either.
Yeah.
It's weird. No, I think they're awful. I don't think they're really good for anybody to be doing.
I think the first one I ever did was tonight when you
so we did.
Show me how to do a burpee.
After the push-ups competition.
So how many of those do people do?
They'll do a lot. I mean, if you go to a CrossFit class, they'll put them in their wads and they'll end up having to do 100 burpees.
Ew.
Which is dumb. It's not really that effective. I don't understand them at all. So not a fan.
Okay.
I think the mechanics are not great. I think most people don't. I don't think most people do. I know most people don't actually do them correctly.
Yeah.
Because they have a full push-up in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on in there.
There's a lot going on. And I think that there's a lot of people that their mobility is not great in like their hips to be able to bend over correctly. I just think there's a lot of things that are going wrong that are not right. Yeah. I think that there are too many people that are too old and it's way too advanced for you to be doing.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? If you like burpees, good for you. I was going
to say, if somebody loves to do burpees, is that okay? Is that fine with you?
I mean, I don't think so.
Will it hurt somebody?
And that's like against my like politically correct answer. I'm like, well, but if you like it, it's good for you. You keep doing it. But no, this is like one thing where I'm like,
just don't do them ever.
They are, in my opinion, they are completely pointless.
Wow.
And I don't feel like anybody should be doing them.
What if it's do burpees or sit on the couch all day?
Couch.
Wow, strong take.
I mean, it doesn't they just don't make sense.
Okay.
And a variety of reasons. But planks also don't make sense to me at all.
I've been doing planks.
I know, because you showed me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Said, let's go talk about this on mic. Was I doing it wrong?
Yeah. So, yes.
Okay.
Surprisingly. I mean, there's just like one thing that would be a good correction for you. So what often happens, just like you did, you got down in your plank position, your toes, everything was like fairly straight. You were on your elbows. What did you do with your hands?
Put them together.
You put them together.
That's how it is on the video.
You know what's funny though? The first thing, so here, I'm going to do a quick little demonstration. So your hands and arms should be like your hands.
Shoulder width apart.
They should be straight out from your elbows.
Okay.
Because it's about keeping your core and your spine and everything in alignment.
Okay.
Like your plank is that.
So once you bring those arms in.
Yeah, what happens? You just saw it right there. Did you feel your shoulders kind of come in? Mm-hmm. And so you're like, okay, if you're here, you're able to get your scapula pulled together. Yeah. Your shoulders can be nice and tight. Your back muscles, then you can tighten them up. You can squeeze your glutes. You can have everything. Your quads can be activated.
Yeah.
And if you move your hands in and do like more of that triangle, what happens to like your shoulders, all of a sudden you kind of cave in.
Do you think it makes it harder or easier to hold it longer?
I think it makes your form not correct when you do that. Okay. But it is the lazy way. It's when people start getting tired, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But then you lose out on your form. Mm-hmm. So that's the number one. That's one reason why I hate planks, but there's more.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. The other reason why I'm not a huge fan of planks, especially for women that have had kids, is another common thing is it can be really challenging to get your hip rotation correctly to where you're not getting lazy with your abdominal wall that it's pushing down to the floor.
Okay.
To have that in good alignment that you're actually engaging your abdominals up and back and in.
Yeah.
Most women that I know, they would prefer for their wall to be a little bit more flat, like in, you know what I mean? Or at least that's what people say. They'll like grab at their belly or whatever. And they're like, how do I get rid of this? Well, if you're protruding, your muscles are out and you're doing those planks, as you get more tired, you're losing it a little bit. That wall, you kind of start dropping and pushing it out. That's not going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Do side planks instead.
I've done them.
Yeah, you like them.
No. Oh, I don't.
You're like, nope.
You were so hopeful there.
I know, I was. But no, not a fan.
Do you like them?
Well, they're harder.
Oh, they're awful.
But they give you an opportunity to make sure that you're engaging that kind of belly button.
Yeah.
And you can pull it into your spine and you're not, gravity is not pulling down on it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a really easy way to start doing things really wrong.
Yeah.
With both the burpee and the plank that, it's probably really not helping you as much as you wish that it
Well, that's kind of why, like, when I tried them and then I was like, all right, I'm going to quit. Because I didn't feel like I was doing it right anymore.
Which one?
The side plank.
They're hard.
Yeah.
They're really hard.
They hurt.
They hurt too. Yeah, they do. It's good for you.
Okay.
Well, you're like, I don't really care about either one of these exercises.
I know. I don't do burpees.
You shouldn't start.
No. I won't. Now I definitely won't.
Well, because now you did it for the first time, right? Was that your very first burpee ever?
I think probably, yeah.
I mean, there's just no point.
I can't imagine a scenario in my life where I've ever had to do a burpee.
I mean, I think jumping is a great thing to do too, but if you're not actually jumping correctly, you can get injured pretty quickly.
No one's ever taught me how to jump correctly. I don't even know what that means.
Well, I mean, you should at least try to land not super heavy on your feet. You know, you're like, oh, it's just quiet. Most people get tired and they're like, oh, and it's like they're crashing back down to the ground.
So should I just throw away the planks? Just get that off my...
I mean, I would.
Usually kind of how I end my workout.
Yeah, I would. I mean, a better exercises to look for if you're really looking at engagement of the abdominal wall to pull it in. Yeah. Are going to be ones that your hips are kind of rotating and curling in with you. So think about like if you're hanging, like they've got little sleeves that you can put your arms in, or if you're doing any kind of hanging exercise and you're bringing your knees, say, up to your chest. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. So you're saying it's not there yet. It's not in your program.
This is all hypothetical.
This is all hypothetical.
I'm with you.
But I mean, okay, just picture it. If you're hanging from a bar and you go to bring your knees up to your chest,
sure.
What happens to your hips? They kind of like tuck in, right?
Yeah.
Well, then, so if your hips are kind of tucking in with you as you do that, it's easier to make sure that your belly button is kind of pulling into your spine.
Yeah.
Right? You can do that. Like you can do a plank. Here's one time, I guess, a version of a plank is kind of okay to get started is you put your feet up on like an exercise ball and then your hands are on the ground.
Okay.
And then you roll the exercise ball, like you tuck your knees into your chest. Same thing. Your hips are kind of like rotating up and under.
Yeah.
Picture it.
Yeah.
You know, versus if you're in a plank and you start to get tired, what's the first thing that usually starts happening? Your hands start coming in and your hips start falling.
Yeah.
Well, then if your hips are dipping and falling to the ground, then what's happening to your abdominal wall is probably getting pushed out too.
Yeah.
Which most people don't want that happening.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Okay. Just don't do.
No.
Don't do them at all. Don't do burpees. Don't do planks.
Yeah. There's
okay. Easy. Sounds good to me.
You want to do more push-ups?
Oh, those were awful. I would rather do planks.
What's been an exercise in your programming so far that you've had through your app that it's been like a one and done situation where you're like, yep, nope, I'm not doing that one again?
Oh, there's been a lot.
Suggest alternate exercise.
Let me see what it would suggest for me right now. Because if I just go into the app, it'll just pull up a new workout.
Okay. Let's see what it would bring up for you for today.
So a dumbbell row, I do those all the time.
Yeah, that's great. Back extra. Yep. Pull.
Easy bar, the easy bar overhead tricep extension.
Yeah.
I would skip that.
Yeah.
I would skip that.
I think kickback's better.
Hammer curls, I would do. Dumbbell Romanian deadlift, I would do. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing those right.
Is this the order of exercises too that it has you go through? Like you start at the top and kind of go through them down like this. So you start with your upper body.
Yeah. It has the row, tricep extension, and then the hammer curls and Romanian deadlift are a superset.
Is that typical though that it has the upper body stuff first?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Have you been paying attention to your workouts?
I have it set on full body. Yeah, I think it probably is typical.
See, I like to start with lower body stuff because I feel like it gets your heart rate up faster. They're bigger muscles and like it just kind of like jump starts.
Well, and the thing that I have noticed is mine tends to try to stay away from lower body or like legs because I have a 1 mile run tacked onto the beginning of my workout.
Oh, that could be.
And so it's kind of like, oh, well, your quads
you need a break.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
So it's got those kettlebell windmills. I've never done that in my life. I would definitely not do that. I would replace exercise. And it always wants me to do Supermans.
Oh, they're so good for your lower back.
I can't do them at the gym. They look so stupid.
Nobody's watching you, Caleigh.
Well, I would watch somebody trying to do some Supermans.
Those are really good for you. Here, let me see what's it doing with the kettlebell? Oh, yeah, the windmills are good for you, too.
I've never even heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
That's the first time it's ever suggested that.
It's a good one. It's a good functional movement.
Oh, okay. Oh.
See, that would tie into learning how to do the Turkish get-up with the kettlebell, which I also do equally like.
See, and I'm still kind of at a point where I stay away from things that are like very movement-centric. I try to move as little as possible when I'm at the gym.
You do need to do a fitness competition because it's not about movement at all when you're stepping on stage. It's like, Let's just do bicep curls.
Yeah.
So we can look pretty.
Yep. That's pretty much what I do.
We'll get there. I'll slowly change that over time.
Keep myself small and look bitchy. That's my goal.
You did get new headphones.
I did get some new headphones for the gym.
The don't mess with me headphones, which that was a suggestion of mine from the very beginning. Just get them.
It's worked so far.
Oh, it's
Nobody
so
talks
good.
to me at the gym.
I love it.
That might have to do with a lot of things, but I just like.
Yeah, you're like, well, that might just be my face.
Maybe
too.
I stink. I don't know. But nobody's talking to me.
The headphones definitely help.
Yeah,
for sure, because it makes it one of those things where it's a lot less likely to be interrupted because people are like, oh no, or if somebody does try to interrupt you, you can do the whole like.
Yeah. You just pull it off.
The over the top.
What did you say?
Now you're physically making me have to pull this huge headphone like off my ear.
And then they say something like super nice.
And then you're like,
oh, I'm a
okay. Well, still don't talk to me. That's what these mean. What else is on there? Is that it? Superman's the last thing?
Yeah. Yeah. And supposedly this is supposed to be a 1 hour full body strength training at intermediate. And I mean, I will say I generally will go in before I get to the gym and revamp it to my liking.
In what way?
I will go and just like switch out. Like you can go in and so the kettlebell windmill, I don't know what that is. I don't want to do it. So I can go in and
You should try new things, Caleigh.
Replace.
Okay.
And then I can replace it with other ab exercises.
Oh, so it gives you alternate exercises of that like muscle group. Mm-hmm. So you can't just completely switch it out.
I can. I could. Oh. That's my ab exercise and I'm going to replace it with something. I would replace it with another ab exercise.
Well, I mean, that's what makes sense, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that wouldn't choose to do that.
Planks.
Not anymore.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, you have fun with that then.
So that would be my next workout.
I mean, that's a great exercise plan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole thing, it's good. Good full body. There's no, real hinge though, right? Was it just, or no, it's the
deadlift.
Oh, the deadlift. What about squat?
There's no squat.
Mm-mm. I guess it's just taking your running into consideration. Maybe, I don't know, but you still load the squat movement. Yeah,
I think it has, I don't know. Sometimes I'll go through and mess with my settings of because you can really customize what, you can change it from full body to lower body only, upper body only, pull muscles, push muscles. You can completely change the entire look of the workout.
Do you think that's beneficial, or do you think a little bit more of a structured plan or does it just depend?
I think at this point, having done as much as I've done and knowing a little bit more, I think for me, a structured plan that is the same thing every week would be more beneficial to me.
But not from the very beginning. That's just kind of the part where you're at in your journey.
I think this app has been great because it got me into the gym and it also kind of has forced me to try some things because every once in a while I will try something new. Get a little wild.
Except for no to the windmill. No to the windmill.
I wouldn't do that, no. I don't do very much kettlebell stuff. Mm-hmm. Mostly because the gym that I go to, the kettlebells the weights aren't even marked. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So
we are really lacking on our kettlebell size selection. It's the only thing that I really get hesitant about kettlebells is I am really picky about how kettlebells are used. And a lot of times they aren't used correctly. Mm-hmm. And I just fear that somebody will use a kettlebell incorrectly, swinging it around, and then will go right through our big mirror on the wall, for example. That's the one reason where I've been unless I ever get to the point where I'm doing group classes and can control the kettlebell environment, that's one modality that I've been I
can see that.
The risk is maybe a little too high for me on this one.
I would probably be the one to do it.
Right. I know.
So
that's why I've been we're just going to have these few that were donated by a member at one point and just never left.
If I had to call you and be like, Sarah, I just broke your mirror.
I'd be like, that's $1,500. And that was 6 years ago. So I'm sure by now with everything the way that it is, it's probably a $2,500 mirror.
Oh God. No, I think I would do. I think moving forward, I think that's kind of what I'm going to come up with is a workout that's the same. A 3-day full body.
That you can track
just the
over.
same.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of getting exhausting where I'm like, what like thought do I have to put forth?
Yeah.
You know, like just let me know what I'm going to
versus
do.
having just 1 week where you're getting through it and then you're repeating. So you're like, okay, I got this. I don't really have to look at my sheet now. I remember what's next.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of exhausting to do it this way.
So would you include then in your new plan push-ups, burpees, and planks?
Probably planks. I kind of like them. I'll do them right.
That's fine. Okay, so like flex your quads and squeeze your bum.
Okay.
If you're like die hard with the planks and don't grasp your hands in the front.
Okay.
Make sure you keep your back nice and tight.
Okay.
Squeeze your butt. Flex your quads.
I mean, if you had been like going to the gym with me all this time, anyway, I wouldn't have spent 6 weeks doing them wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I would have found this out a long time ago.
Like the very first time I've been like, don't do it that way.
Don't do it that way.
You're like, oh, that would have saved me like
I've just
so
been
much
completely
grief.
oblivious to how am I supposed to know?
Oh, well, yeah, especially if the video is showing them doing that. It's like, no.
It does. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to do that. Because I actually wasn't doing it at first. And then I took a closer look at the video and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to clasp my hands together.
I have no idea why the internet is so confusing.
Right. I don't know why people are out there doing stuff wrong.
I have no idea. It's just crazy. I have no idea. Can't blame them, I guess. The system is broken.
Right.
All right. Well, that's all I have to say about that. I mean, I do not really think in any form or fashion any of those.
Just don't ever do those things.
I would not.
Okay.
No, I don't recommend them.
I would not add push-ups.
I think they're terrible for you.
I would not do push-ups or burpees.
Just pick a different chest exercise, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I feel like I have enough.
Yeah, burpees are horrible. They're not good for you. All right. Well, good. All right, Kate. Well, that's the soapbox for today.
Thank you for your soapbox. I appreciate it.
Yeah, do you really?
I always love them.
All right. Well, on to the next soapbox. I'm sure for the next episode, we'll get to it.
Yep.
Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.